Hey, my lovely people, a pleasant evening to everybody. Beautiful people, it was just such a joy and a pleasure in watching the news and seeing the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, you know, uh, delivering, supplies like, a generator I saw, and I'm sure other supplies needed, generator to a station, and I saw the leader of opposition there as well. I think he started his visit yesterday or so in Westmoreland, and then I saw that he went to the Black River police station. My goodness, when I saw what happened, during the hurricane, wow. I mean, it's almost like when they ransack a place. I saw the water ransacked the station, good and proper. And it was good to see over 80 odd police officers going there to do their different cleaning up, and the Commissioner Kevin Blake, stating that it was he or one of the officers. When we say officers, we're talking like DSP upwards. Was stating that based on the level of damage, if it's critical, then they will try to address it at the station, because it's a well needed station. So it's good seeing that work is being done, and the Prime Minister has stated that they're going to look at the affected hospitals in the West that have been affected in terms of the roof, ceiling, and so on, so that it can be prepared. And I think they're going to have a field office at and I'm not even sure where I reached, guys. I had to pause the video a minute, but just the whole unified effort, and when I was listening to the opposition leader, he was saying that he knows that a lot of international aid is coming, but apparently the people in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth weren't getting it. But shortly after, there was news in that food items came, and you literally saw the people lining up collecting the boxes, because boy, they're hungry, and some may be destitute and just in a real, I mean, we see it. And I became quite concerned when I looked at the different parishes, Trelawney, Falmouth in particular, as a zone in Trelawney, as one of the locations in Trelawney. And you have Montego Bay, which is in St. James. A lot of people think when they say St. James, it's Montego Bay talking, but you have several different zones in Montego Bay. In St. James, sorry. Montego Bay is just one. And I call it zone, I just call it that for you to understand. And well, additionally, obviously, St. Elizabeth and Black River being a part of St. Elizabeth. And while they were showing the different areas and locations, and I'm looking at the people, on the outside, I begin to wonder, where do they sleep? I then begin to wonder, even more importantly, where do they defecate and urinate? For those who may not know the words doo-doo, wee-wee, where do they do it? I mean, I'm here thinking how unsightly and unsanitary it would be if they have to go out there, especially doing number 2, the doo-dooing or defecating. If all of them have to be doing it on the outside, because there are no buildings around, there are no portable toilets, which I would encourage the powers that be to probably see if they can put in some portable toilets in the interim, because they have to pass the human waste. And can you imagine if all of them just go into a certain spot and just continuously defecating, doo-dooing, and urinating on the outside like that? The place would become polluted, and the stench. And because I'm looking all around the place, there are no buildings. It's as though, to me, they have to, whatever little cloth they can get, they have to sleep on the outside, hoping and praying that it doesn't rain, because I see no sign or shelter in sight. And some of the shelters, they say, leaves much to be desired. I'm not sure how true, but I'm just concerned about the passing of the human waste, especially number 2. How do they do it? They probably should consider getting some, because the only thing I'm thinking, that some of them must be sleeping on the outside. based on how the place looks. I mean, it's in proper shambles. It's like the place was just totally bombed, you know, and it's really hard to watch it because you see the tears. You know, they don't even know how, if they could, some of them can't even cry because they're in so much, they're in shock. They are broken. You know, it's almost like they're destitute. It's just, it's really hard to watch, and you feel so helpless because you're saying, what can you do to relieve these people's burden and pain? This is so, it's so, I'm just so concerned about, you know, that personal aspect of them. You know, where do they get can they bathe? You know, because obviously if they haven't eaten for days, they have to just go out road, go do. Can you imagine all of them constantly doing that? You know, in a particular location, because they can't just do it where they're sleeping, because the stench and the pollution would have killed them. You know, and it would be unsightly, unsanitary. It would not be good. They could, yeah. You wonder to yourself, how do they manage? You know, and my encouragement is that the powers that be get some portable toilets or something. But, you know, for those who may not be able to get into a shelter for a place, that because, but based on looking at some of these places, everywhere just looks blown down. I mean, it's destroyed. You know, and worse now, like how food come. Oh God, the belly are gonna rumble. The bathroom will be calling. The belly are gonna rumble and grumble. You understand me? And create a mayhem in their stomach, in their bellies. Oh my goodness gracious. This is really, really and truly sad. You know, and I hope that something will happen for them in terms of getting something structure up, you know, with even a basic bathroom and somewhere to sleep. And, you know, they can find a way to get somewhere they can prepare meals. But in the interim, they just have to depend on the food that they're getting from these things, where they don't have to cook or anything like that. But there's some structure needs to go up in terms of, as I said, for them to sleep under a covering and to defecate and urinate. Wash their face, brush their teeth, take a shower and all of that. As maybe some of them have not even bathed in days, because where they're going to go, as I said, when I'm looking across, and there's no place inside, everywhere, a just pure board, lick down. I mean, real destruction, real and true and sincere destruction. And let me tell you something. You see, some of you with your motor vehicles, your luxury motor vehicles, and used to drive past people you feel like this person too low class, not up to your standard to get in your car. How do you feel now that the wind and the rain and the water has taken it away? How do you feel? Some of you, I'm not talking about everybody, obviously. How do you feel? You never want the person going down, know your car gone completely. So I'm really, really hoping that the powers that be will provide something where they can, you know, use the lavatory and, you know, so that they don't just do any and everywhere. That would be really bad. Even urinating, a place with a rink, I mean, I know they have to do what they have to do in the interim, and as I said, know that the food items come, when the belly start break down all of that and pass that out, Lord have his mercy. Oh my goodness gracious. You know, probably have to put on a gas mask. Yeah, it's gonna be, and I'm keeping it real. It's a serious situation. It's no joke. I want you to understand that. So they need some portable toilets. I'm concerned about that, you know. And I'm concerned about, because one lady said she couldn't even get to brush her teeth and all of that, and, you know, fearful of how she smells. But that's the least. We do understand, you know. But nobody would want to stay like that in that condition. We're humans. We're not the lower form of mammals or animals. So I'm hoping the powers that be will get, you know, some portable toilets or something, and quickly get something up where they can have even somewhere where there's covering for them to sleep and to use a bathroom, because I really believe that many are sleeping on the outside. I can't hardly talk because it brings tears to your eyes. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube, subscribe, Give me one of those lines. Thank you.